Hello everyone, thank you for joining us today. I am Saundra Krienke, Product Marketing Manager at Zight, and I am excited to share with you some of our tips and tricks as well as best practices to help make you more efficient in your Zight workflow. So to kick things off, I wanted to take a moment and show you how to use and sort of customize our preferences or settings. So I'm on my Mac desktop app, and if you go over into your preferences, you'll have a few different options from left to right to customize your experience with Zight, and again, just make it personal and exactly how you want to experience using our product. So here you can decide, for example, when you have a file captured or a video recorded, you can decide, do you want it to share a link, do you want to share the content, and a few other options with notifications. We highly recommend using these on, however, you do have the option to turn those off. One of the things I really love is, and our users do as well, is the ability to customize shortcuts. So you don't have to use our custom shortcuts. You can go in here and I could type in Command U and you can customize all of these different shortcuts based on perhaps whatever feature you use the most. If you take a lot of screenshots, some 10, 20, 30 times a day, a quick shortcut might be a really great way to make that a little bit quicker for you. You can also change your permissions for all of these different settings, from your camera to your screen recordings and so on. And then moving over to recordings, you can customize within this what you want Zight to do after you capture a video. So anything from opening up in the web, I really love that option because then I can go in and I can actually do some video editing in the web. You can also just have it open up in our quick editor. And then another thing to point out is the recording quality. So a lot of you might be defaulted to like a 720, which isn't quite as high of a quality. So maybe you want to up that to something higher or maxed at 4K. So definitely encourage you to get the best quality video to make sure that you have those settings set accordingly. And then over in screenshots, it's kind of the same thing. After you record a screenshot, what do you want it to do? I love the quick little preview window in the bottom right corner. I can quickly see my video and decide if I want to do a drag and drop or go in and make a quick annotation. So I can tell my teammates what I want them to do with my screen capture. So just a quick high-level overview. Definitely encourage you, if you haven't already been into your settings, to go in here, personalize it, and make it the best experience possible for you. Okay, so I'm actually going to go in and I'm going to capture a quick screenshot. So you can see I'm on my desktop app. I just selected the screen capture tool, and look how quickly Zight created that link for you, right? So it says link copied. I've got my preview because that's how I have my settings. I could also go in here and I've got my Gmail open in the background here, and I could do a quick little drag and drop into my Gmail, and then I could share it with my team. You can see just how quickly it unfurled that screenshot, and now it's ready to send to the intended recipient here. I could also just do a quick paste if I wanted to just paste it in and take a look at, how did my screenshot turn out? Do I want to go in and further annotate it? I could click on annotate and go in and annotate that piece of content even further. I personally really love Zight's annotation tools. And by the way, another little hot tip here, I can move my camera around, which is really great for video recording, especially in instances like this here. Maybe my camera is in the way of something I want to show my audience, so I can quickly just grab it, move it around, make it bigger, make it smaller, and so on. So Zight has actually released a really great set of annotation tools, especially with the text tools. So I encourage you to go in here and check all of them out. You've got a lot of flexibility. I could say change to download now. I could draw an arrow. And then my team will know that, hey, I want you to change the CTA. But maybe you've got a color that doesn't work, or you want to add an outline, or just make things a little bit more clear. Perhaps you want to be on brand with your coloring. You can do that in here, and you can go ahead and change that color. That's really important, especially folks in the marketing or design world who might want to just make sure that they're being on brand, whether it's using a shape tool or just text and so on. So lots of flexibility within our annotation tools. You can change the font style, the size. You can play around with shadows and outlines just to really bring your visual communication to life. And then we have the crop option. So maybe I captured too much information. I want to crop some of that out. You can quickly grab it. Redact is another really great tool. This helps eliminate any sensitive information that you didn't mean to share or don't want to share. Our customer success teams use this quite frequently when they're communicating with their clients and just protecting that sensitive information in the communications. And then just a couple of other things with our numbers. If you've got some steps that you want to outline and you're communicating with your team, it's a really great way to just go and grab a number and put it where you want it. You can move it around, change the size, and so on. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Save here. And as you can see, Zight is now refreshing it, and it has a new copy for me with all of my annotations. So moving into one of my next tips and tricks, which is duplicates and version history. Let's say that you have captured a piece of content, you've made some annotations, but you made a mistake. I didn't mean to blur out this entire section here. So the really neat thing is you can go into More, Versions and Duplicate, and now I can see my original version. So maybe I didn't even want to use any of my annotations. I saw it and I'm like, nope, I'm not communicating the right message, or I changed my mind, I want the CTA to be something else, so I can go back so I don't have to recapture that original content, and I could restore it. Another great use case for this is you could also duplicate, and you can compare different versions. So if you want to capture a screenshot of the same screen, but you want to make two different versions and have your team tell you maybe which one they like best. This is a really great little tip and trick to use for instances like that. Now, when you've got your screen capture or your video recording or your GIF, whatever you're trying to communicate, ready to go, we've talked about copy links, but sharing and protection is also a really great best practice. So definitely encourage you to go in and set those preferences as you see fit. You can control who's going to access those files. So you can see I've got this one set to anyone with a link can view. However, you can further protect your content, and maybe you want to require a password. So again, this might be useful for a lot of different use cases. I'll go back to that same customer success example. If you're sending sensitive information to a customer, you might want to require a password, and maybe you want it to expire in a day or a week. You have that flexibility. Perhaps after so many views, we could say after 10 views, or you can have it expire on a specific date. Or I've just reset it to expire never. So if it's just really great content that's always going to sit out there, you don't have to worry about having an expiration date. Next, you have the option to also share your content on social media, as well as embed your content into a website. So we've got a lot of users who are using our embed feature. You have the option to show the title or hide it, show the Zight branding or hide it. It's a simple copy and paste onto your website. Just an easy way to take up a lot less space when you're trying to have a screen capture or a GIF or a video embedded onto your website. I'm going to ignore that. All right, so I'm going to move my camera down a little bit lower here, and I'm going to go into the more here. So another quick little tip is you see all of my options up here, and actually as I hover over, you can see all of my my shortcuts that I have set for some of these, but you can also reorder them. So when you first download Zight, you may not have the features that you use the most as your primary action. So if you record a lot of GIFs, for example, you might want to make that one first, or if you use the upload feature quite often, you have the flexibility to move those around. And speaking of uploads, let's go back. Let's talk about uploads. So one of the other things, the many things I love about Zight is the flexibility to upload a lot of different content, but also upload content of all different sizes and different file types. So if I want to upload like a JPEG, for example, you can see just how quickly that has now uploaded to my Zight account. But maybe you've got something bigger. Maybe you've got a 30 megabyte video that someone shared with you or that you have sitting on your desktop or you've downloaded from somewhere else. Imagine sending that in an email to your team. That's going to take up a lot of space. It probably won't go through, and it's also going to cause a lot of issues with your team. Just trying to open that kind of content with that large of a file. So I'm going to go actually onto my desktop where I've got a video. It's an MP4. It's 9 minutes long, so it's a fairly large file. And I'm simply going to upload that, and we'll see just how quickly Zight is able to now upload that large video very quickly and create a link for me to share with my team. And the last couple of things I wanted to show everyone, just because it might be something you don't think of firsthand, is saving content as a favorite. So maybe there is a piece of content, a recording, a training and onboarding video that you want to be able to refer back to, especially as a new hire, for example. Maybe your manager sent you a video and you started creating a lot of Zight content, and you want to be able to access a specific video just to refer back to, maybe get a refresher from, or maybe you're an engineer or working with your product team and there's a bug solution that you want to be able to refer back to and save a bunch of time by not having to search for it. You can easily go into your favorites, and then you could also use the search function within your favorites if you have anything in the title, anything in the summary, the transcription. If it's a video, you could simply type in a word and search for that piece of content. So if I know there's something in here with the word design on it that I saved as a favorite, I could simply search for it, and any content within my favorites that has the word design, like you can see here, I have a few different options because we made a lot of design changes at one point. It's just a really quick way to grab that information. And then in addition, we also have collections. So collections are a great way to store frequently used content that you might want to share out with your team. So let's go ahead and use this same piece of content, for example. I want to add this to my collection. I can either create a new collection, we'll call it Training 101, and I actually want to put a bunch of videos into this folder eventually. I know I'm just putting a screenshot in here right now, but for the purposes of this demo, let's say you've saved several videos that would normally take up a lot of space if you weren't using Zight and if you were just downloading them to your desktop. So now, not only are they in one spot, but you can use this copy share link here. And what that's going to do is it's going to share a link to this collection with all of those videos, whether it's one screenshot, one video, 10 or 50. And then you could simply, again, paste that into your Slack channel, paste it into your Gmail or whatever communication channel that you're using with your team. So kind of a nice little nugget as far as favorites and collections go. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you all so much for sticking with me. We've got lots of really great tips and tricks that I hope that you guys have all learned something new. And be sure to check out our webinars. Come and follow us at Zight Office Hours. We host frequent Zight 101 webinars where we're always changing things up. We're talking about other tips and tricks. We're introducing new features and best practices and so on. We're also doing regular webinars on other features like AI and admin, screenshots, video recording, and so much more. So thank you for your time today. If you have questions, do feel free to reach out to us at marketing@cl.ly. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day.